Hello and welcome to Knowledge. This is a special video session to explain you some of the general mathematic rules, and this video is especially for those who are confused with numbers with signs, the positive or the negative numbers, and what all signs the answers will have. Now you have to keep in mind certain things before we go forward. Now the first thing is, when you have two numbers with positive signs, then you will have to add those numbers to get your answers. And when you have two numbers with negative signs, then also you will be adding your numbers to get your answers. Now listen carefully. This plus sign is only to show you that you will be adding these two numbers. Okay, so now this doesn't mean that you have a positive sign for your answer. That has a different rule. I will come to that, but for now these are the operations that you will be doing to get your answers. And same way, when you have a mix of signs like a positive number and a negative number, then you will have to subtract to get your answer. Here you have a negative number and a positive number, then again you will have to subtract to get your answer. So this minus and minus here means that you will have to subtract these numbers to get your answers. Okay, this is the first thing that you have to keep in mind. The second thing is sign rules for answers. Now you are coming to your answer part of it. Now when you add or subtract, now I will tell you what are the general rules for that. When you add two numbers with positive signs, then your answer has a positive sign. That is very easy. Now say for example you have two numbers, say 15 plus 5. Now 15 is a positive number, it doesn't have a negative sign here, and same way 5 doesn't have a negative sign here, which means that both are positive. So what is your answer? Your answer is obviously positive because you don't have a negative sign anywhere here. So your answer is 20, which is positive 20, right? Then the next one is, when you add two numbers with negative signs, then your answer has a minus sign. Say for example you have minus 12 and then minus 6. So now what will your answer be? You have two minus signs here, and I have told you that when you have two minus signs, then you will have to add these numbers to get your answer. So same way, when you have two minus signs over here, so you will be adding these two numbers. So 12 plus 6 is 18. Your answer is 18, but still what is written here? When you add two numbers with negative signs, then your answer has a minus sign. So you have to write a minus sign over here, because when you I have said that when you have two positive numbers, you will be adding it, and when you have two negative signs, then you will add it. So see, it's a simple idea over here. When you have two numbers with similar signs, then you will have to add those numbers. When you have two numbers with mix of signs, positive negative or negative positive, whichever mode they may be, then you will have to subtract these numbers to get your answers. Same way, now here you have two minus here, so you added these numbers to get your answer. Your answer is 18. And same way it is written here that when you have two numbers with negative signs, then your answer will have a negative sign, so you have put a minus over here. So it is minus 18 now. Okay, then the next one is, when you subtract two numbers with a positive and a negative sign, then your answer has a sign of the greater number. Now here see, now you have a number 16 minus 5. Now here 16 doesn't have a minus sign over here, so 16 is a positive number, but 5 has a minus sign in front of it. So what does it mean? 5 is a negative number. So plus 16 minus 5, then it means that, see here, I told you that when you have a plus and a minus sign, then you will have to subtract those numbers. So now you will be subtracting those numbers, because this is a positive number and this is a negative number. You will be subtracting it. So 16 minus 5 is 11. And I said that your answer, when you subtract two numbers with a positive and a negative sign, here positive and a negative sign, then your answer has a sign of the greater number. Here the greater number is 16, and greater number has a positive sign, so your answer is positive. Okay, now suppose you have 5 minus 16, then what will happen? Here again it is positive number and a negative number. So I said that when you have a positive and a negative, then you have to subtract those numbers to get your answer. So we will be subtracting this, and then your answer is 11. But what did I say? Whenever you subtract two numbers with one number having a positive sign and one number with a negative sign, then you will have to give the sign of the greater number for your answer. So here the greater number is 16. 16 has a minus sign, so your answer will be minus 11. Now you understand the difference between these two. Now when you have 16 on a positive side, your answer is positive. When you have a 16 with a negative sign, then your answer is negative, because 16 is a greater number in both places. Got it? Now let's see a few examples to see how to go about it. Now, as I said, positive number plus a positive number, your answer is, you will have to add first of all, right? A positive and a positive number, you will have to add those numbers for your answer. So you will be adding it. You will have to add. And what sign will your answer have? Positive and a positive. There is no sign of negative here. So it is positive. So for example, see, if you have 4 is a positive number and 5 is also a positive number. So what is your answer? 9. There is no sign of any negative number here. So your answer is positive. Now when you have minus plus a minus number, that is a negative number plus a negative number. Now as I said here, when you add two numbers with negative signs, then you will have the answer has a negative sign. Now see what will happen. Now here I will tell you a small trick. However complicated may be the sum, you can follow this trick. Now first what I'm saying is, see, for example, if you take here, you ignore the first part of the number. Now your first part is this, you ignore this, and what will happen here? Now if you hide this, your plus and plus is, as I said here, your plus and plus is plus, so you will be adding this. Now you have a plus here, so again plus and plus is plus, so you will be adding this. Now what will happen here? Here again you hide this from here. Now what will happen to your second part of your question? Now you have a plus and minus. What did I say? You have a plus and minus, you will have to subtract those numbers to get your answer. So what will you do? Now you already have a minus here. Now your plus and minus will give you a minus again. It means that you will have to subtract those numbers, right? So then when you have two numbers, two signs here, then you will write a minus here. Now again, if you see, check here, what does it show? When you have a minus and minus, you will have to add. So here, when you join this, you will have to add. So what will you be doing? You will be adding your numbers. Okay, you will be adding your numbers. But what sign will the answer have? As I said, when you have two negative numbers and you will be adding it, your sign will have your number will answer will have a negative sign. So here you will be adding it, but you will have a negative sign. Say for example, now you are hiding this. Okay, you are hiding this. What will happen here? Plus and minus is, as I said, when you have a mix of numbers, you will have to minus it. So here minus. So now here already there is a minus, and here you have a minus. Now what will happen? You have a minus and minus here. Your minus and minuses you will have to add. This means that you will be adding this. Now when you see this plus and minus, you got a minus here. When you have two minus, then you finally will be adding those two numbers. So what will happen? You will be adding this. So for example 6, this is minus 6. See, this is minus 6 and this is minus 12. Okay, this is minus 6 and this is minus 12. So when you add, what will your answer be? Minus 6 and 12 is 18. And I said that when you add two numbers with minus sign, then your answer will have a minus sign. So your answer is minus 18. Got it? Now same way if you see here. See, you have a negative number plus a positive number. Now you hide this. Okay, so you have a negative number. You take the sign as it is. Then you have a two positive number. It means that you positive plus positive is positive. So you have now. Now what will you do? Your minus and plus. See, minus and plus, what you have to do is you have to minus. So now here you will have to minus. So this means that you will have to subtract. subtract these numbers. Okay, now you'll have to subtract these numbers. So now coming to the answer part of it, what sign will you give? You will have the sign of the greater number. As I said here, when you subtract two numbers with a positive and a negative sign, then you have an answer with the sign of the greater number. Okay, so now here, whichever is a greater number, you will have the sign of that one. See, for example, you have minus 7 over here. You know how now you hide it. Now you have minus 7 here. Now what will happen? This is plus and this is a positive number. So plus and plus is plus. So plus 2. Now your minus and plus is minus. So now you will have to subtract these numbers. 7. Now 7 and minus 2 is 5. And I told you that when you subtract two numbers with a mix of signs, then you will have to take the sign of the greater number. Now your greater number here is 7. So the sign of the greater number 7 is minus. So you will write minus 5 over here. Got it? Now again, if you see, coming to subtraction, now you have a negative number minus a negative number. Now what will you do? Same way, hide this. Now you will write a minus sign as it is here. Now you hide it. Now what will happen? Your minus and minus. Now here I said minus and minus is plus. So you write a plus over here. Now what do you have? You have a minus and plus here. So what will happen? Now minus and plus is what? Minus. What did I say? This is the operation you will be doing. So you will have to subtract. So this means that you will be subtracting. Okay. And what will your answer have? As I said, whenever you subtract two numbers with a mix of signs, then you will be having the sign of the greater number. See, for example, here you have minus 7 here. So minus 7, write as it is. Now you hide it. Now you have minus and minus here. 2 minus means plus. So you will have to plus it. Now what will happen? Now you have a minus and plus sign here. Now this is 9. Okay. Now you have a minus and plus sign. So your minus and plus sign means that you will have to minus these numbers. So both will, you will have to subtract these two numbers. So what will happen now? 7 minus 9 is 2. And you take the sign from the greater value. Which is the greater value? 9. 9 has a positive sign. So it means this is a positive 2. Got it? Now the same way. Next one. Now you have a negative number minus a positive number. Now you write this one as it is and then hide it. Now you have plus and minus. What does it mean? Plus and minus means you will have to minus. Then it is minus. Now what do you have? You have two minus here. Minus and minuses, as I said, minus and minuses add. So you will be adding it. So this means that you will be adding these numbers. And what sign will they have? Now here what did I say? When you subtract two numbers with the negative signs, then your answer will be negative. So here your answer is negative. So for example, when you see this is minus 3. So write minus 3 as it is. Now hide it. Now this is minus and this is positive 8. This bracket means that this is positive. So minus and plus is minus. Now you have two minus over here. And here I said when you have two minus, you will be adding the numbers. So you will be adding the numbers. This is 8. So what will happen? 8 plus 3 is 11. And have the simple logic in mind. When you subtract or add two numbers with a minus sign, then you take the sign from the greater number. Okay. So as I said here, and minus and minus is plus. So you will be adding it. Now 8 plus 3 is 11. And as I said here, when you add two numbers with negative signs, then your answer will be negative. So here this is negative. Or else you can keep this logic in mind. You take the sign from the greater value. This is the greater value and it has a minus sign. So your answer is negative. Got it? Now coming to sign rules for multiplication or division. Now this has a separate kind of rules. Now you have to be very careful. Do not confuse both. Now see, when you multiply or divide two numbers with plus signs, that is positive signs, then your answer is positive. This is even simpler than adding or subtracting. It means that here is a number, a positive number, and you multiply or divide with another positive number, then your answer is positive. Okay, see for example 8 is a positive number and 4 is a positive number. When you multiply this, 8 4s are 32, your answer is positive. And here you have again 12 is positive here and 3 is positive here. 12 divided by 3, your answer is 4. Since both are positive, your answer is positive. Okay. Now when you multiply or divide two numbers with negative signs, then your answer is positive. Now this is opposite to this one. When you add two numbers with negative signs, then your answer is negative. Now this is opposite. Now whenever you see two numbers with negative signs, then your answer is positive when you multiply or divide. This is only for a rule. This rule is only for multiplication or division. For example, when you have minus 14 into minus 3, your answer is 42. And it is positive plus 42 because I said that when you multiply or divide two numbers with negative signs, there are two numbers with negative signs, then your answer is positive. So you need not worry about whether the greater number has a plus sign or a minus sign. Irrespective of that, whichever sign your greater number has, you will be writing positive over here. Your answer is positive. Same way here, 18 divided by minus 18 divided by minus 6, your answer is 3. Both the numbers are negative, so your answer is positive. Then the next one is when you multiply or divide two numbers with plus and minus signs. That is the mix of numbers, plus and minus. One number is positive and one number is negative. Then your answer has a negative sign, irrespective of whether the sign of the greater number, whatever may be the sign of the greater number. So here minus a negative number into or divided by a positive number, then your answer is minus. Then here positive number multiplied by or divided by a negative number, your answer is minus. Now here you have minus 24 divided by 8. This is 24 is negative and 8 is positive. But yet when you divide, here answer is 3 and your answer has a negative sign. Because I said irrespective of the sign of the greater number, you will have to write minus 3. Your answer will have a negative sign. Here it is 32 into 2. 64 is your answer and you will have a minus sign. Okay. Plus 32 and minus 2. Then also you will have a minus sign over here, because any number, if any of the numbers have a high minus sign, your answer will be negative. And then here you have 15 divided by minus 3. The answer is 5, but you will have a minus sign, because irrespective of whichever sign the greater number has, you will have to write a minus over here. Your answer will be negative. Same way here, 8 into 2 is 16. Here the greater number is 8, which is positive, and your smaller number is 2, negative, but you give it a minus sign, because I said irrespective of what the sign of the greater number, you will have to write a minus for your answer when you have a mix of sign. And this is only for multiplication or for division. Got it? So that's all for now. If you like the video, like, share and subscribe to my channel, and then I'll come up with another video shortly. Until then, bye-bye.